Hey there, welcome to episode 9. In today's episode, let's talk about color grading. It's been something I've wanted to get to for a long time because I think it is such an important part of the process. Well, color grading is more than a technical fix. It's the artistic process that gives your photos personality, mood, and emotion. It's the difference between a good photo and a great photo. With programs like Adobe Lightroom, Photoshop, and DaVinci Resolve, you have sliders and curves to adjust tones, contrast, and colors. The possibilities are endless. Let me show you some examples. The photo is well exposed. The focus is sharp, but something is missing. It needs warmth, connection. You apply a warm color grade, and the skin tones glow. But it all boils down to one thing: creativity. How do you want your image to look and feel? That's what color grading is all about. The colors complement each other, creating a sense of harmony. Another powerful tool for color grading is HSL. HSL stands for hue, saturation, and luminance. It's a color grading tool that lets you fine-tune each color in your image separately. You can adjust the hue, saturation, and luminance of each color to get the exact look you want. Say you have a photo of a person and the background is too bright. You don't want to overdo it and end up with an image that looks fake or unnatural. A little goes a long way. The whites are blown out. Now you can go in and desaturate those areas so they blend in better with the rest of the image. And I thought it would be fun to play around with them and see what kind of effects we can create. Think about the colors you see during sunset: oranges, yellows, reds. These colors evoke feelings of nostalgia, warmth, and comfort. When you apply a warm color grade to an image, it creates a sense of intimacy and closeness. You can use color to highlight the main subject or create a certain mood or atmosphere. You can also use color to bring attention to certain details in the image. It's like the image is sharing a secret with you. It's perfect for creating a moody, dramatic atmosphere. Or, if you have a photo of a landscape, you can use color to highlight the mountains or the trees. It lets you express your creativity, and it lets you connect with your audience on a deeper level. It's all about creating visual interest and guiding the viewer's eye to the parts of the image that you want them to focus on. Or let's say you have a photo of food and the colors look a bit dull. Remember, color grading is not just about technical adjustments. It's about telling a story and evoking emotion. So have fun with it and let your creativity shine through. Think about the colors of the winter sky, the ocean, or a forest. Blue, purple, and green hues dominate here. It's where you take your raw images and turn them into finished pieces of art. So don't be afraid to experiment. Have fun and let your creativity flow. Who knows? You might just surprise yourself with what you create. Cool tones often give off a feeling of isolation or professionalism. They can create a striking, eye-catching effect that really makes your image stand out. You can use HSL to boost the saturation and make the colors pop. I've been experimenting with LUTs, which stand for lookup tables. But over time, I learned to trust my instincts and experiment with different looks. And that's what I encourage you to do as well. Try out both warm and cool tones and see what works best for you and your style of photography. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about personal preference. They're basically presets that you apply to your image to give it a certain look. LUTs are great for adding a cinematic color tone to your photos. They can save you a lot of time, especially if you're someone who shoots a lot of video. I found them particularly useful for giving a consistent color tone to my drone shots. For example, in my street photography, I often use warm tones to create a sense of nostalgia and connection with the viewer. In my drone work, I use cool tones to emphasize the vastness and scale of the landscape. Just look at the before and after. The LUT really brings out the colors in the footage and makes it look more cinematic. The photo now has emotion, tells a story. This is what color grading can do for your images. My personal favorite is a website that provides a huge library of free LUTs that you can download and use in your projects. I've found some real gems there. You know when you look at a photo and you can just feel the emotion, the atmosphere, the mood? The power of color grading. After you take your photo, you import it into your computer, and then you start the process of editing. If your subject's skin tones look a bit too yellow, you can use HSL to make them warmer. For example, I might use it to tweak the colors of the sky or the leaves rather than changing the entire color palette. But hey, it's all about personal preference. If your grass looks a bit too green, you can make it more vibrant, and so on. It's a really versatile tool, and it gives you a lot of control over your colors. First comes color correction, then color grading. But it lacks emotion. It feels flat. Then you apply a cool color grade. The snow becomes sparkling white, the trees dark and moody, the sky a deep, rich blue. Suddenly, the image has atmosphere. It feels like you're there in that moment. This is the power of color grading. And even though I'm making a black and white film, color grading is still an essential part of that process. So let's dive into it. First off, what is color grading? Now, color grading is different from color correction. Color correction is for fixing problems like white balance or exposure. But grading is about creativity. It's about how you want the image to feel. Do you want it to be warm and nostalgic or cool and vibrant? It's up to you. You have complete control over the colors in your image. Imagine you have a photo of a winter landscape. It's a beautiful scene. Snow-covered trees, clear blue sky. Or take a photo of a couple in love. It's important to note here that color grading is done after the shot. It's part of the post-processing workflow. Color grading is a very broad term. It covers everything from basic adjustments like brightness and contrast to advanced techniques like color balancing and toning. If you're looking for a shortcut, if you're thinking there's a magic button I can press to instantly improve my images, I have something that might interest you. There are tons of LUTs available online, both free and paid. Some popular options include those from Film Convert, which offers realistic film emulations, but if you prefer a more manual approach, don't worry, LUTs are not the only option. For example, if your sky looks a bit gray and lifeless, you can use the HSL tool to make it more blue. Personally, I find it a bit easier to use HSL for small adjustments rather than making global changes to the whole image. Here's an example. Remember, subtlety is key with HSL, just like with any other color grading technique. As you're experimenting with color grading, you might come across these two terms, warm grading and cool grading. Warm grading is all about those cozy, inviting tones that make you feel like you're wrapped in a blanket by a fireplace. On the other hand, cool grading is all about those icy, crisp tones that make you feel like you're standing in the middle of winter. I love experimenting with both warm and cool tones in my own photography. When I first started out, I struggled with knowing which color grade to use. One of the coolest things about color grading is that it lets you tell a story. For example, if you have a photo of a person, you can use color to highlight their eyes or their smile. So why is color grading important? Well, it's important because it takes your photos to the next level. It turns good images into great images. If you're a photographer, color grading is an essential part of your workflow. That's all I've got for this episode. Hope you enjoyed learning about color grading, and I hope you're re-inspired to try it out for yourself. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Till next time, happy grading.